Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode number 3. Today we're going to talk about 3 money mindset shifts that every woman must make if they want to build wealth. Okay, we're just going to dive into this one because it's really juicy, and I truly believe that this could really change the trajectory for you if you really have a goal to take control of your money and to really become financially successful and to build wealth. Overall, we're going to cover 3 main money mindset shifts. The first one is going to be this. You have to stop thinking that you're bad with money because it's simply not true. And that thought does not serve you. It actually keeps you stuck. The second thing we're going to talk about is the fact that your past doesn't determine your future. So no matter how you were with money in the past, how bad you think things are now, it doesn't matter. Your future is 100% yours for the taking, and just understand that your past doesn't determine your future. That's so important. And the final thing we're going to cover today is the fact that your dreams and desires are a map, so follow them. So if you have dreams and desires, then guess what? That is the map that you need to follow in order to create the life that you want. So let's talk about number 1, the fact that you are not bad with money. So many of my clients come to me and they're like, Jermaine, I'm just bad with money. I just don't do well with money. I'm not disciplined. I have no self-control. And I want you to know that those are not facts, right? It's not true that you're bad with money. It's just something that you're telling yourself. But it's really important to understand that because you are telling yourself that you're bad with money, you prove it true month after month after month by just kind of throwing your hands up in the air and just thinking it's a hopeless situation because I'm just bad with money. I just have no self-control. I have no discipline. Here's the truth. You are simply just a human being with a human brain, and you have just learned a certain way to be with money, and all you have to do is unlearn it. That's it. It doesn't mean that you're bad with money. It doesn't mean that it's hopeless for you. It doesn't mean you're not disciplined. I used to honestly think that people were born with a money gene, like either you were good with money or you weren't. And I understand this one firsthand because I truly thought I was bad with money and it was just my lot in life and I was just going to have to deal with it until I decided that I didn't want to believe that anymore. And so that is what I want to offer to you as well. That you do not have to tell yourself that you're bad with money. Because the truth is, you're not. I bet there are so many instances in your life where you can actually point to where you're actually pretty good with money, right? The fact that you make money is proof that you're good with it, right? Also, you have a home, you have vehicles, your bills are paid, you're doing that consistently. So that means you're not bad with money. You are doing what's right with your money. So I want you to really understand that you can literally change your money situation if you do not like it. So you could be looking at your net worth, you can be looking at the numbers, right? And you can just be like, Jermaine, I know what I'm looking at and it's not pretty. That's not a problem. And just because you're looking at something that may not look pretty to you doesn't mean that you're bad with money. It just means that you need to learn some different skills. You need to think differently and you need to start behaving differently, right? And so if you are looking at circumstances and you do not like them, know that you can change them, right? And if you continue to believe that you're bad with money, chances are you're going to keep perpetuating that, right? And you're going to keep creating the same results over and over again. So I really want you to understand that that negative self-talk, that you're bad with money, that you're not disciplined, and that you have no self-control is actually the reason why you feel out of control, right? And if you could just switch that narrative a little bit and say, maybe I am not so bad with money, or maybe I'm actually okay with money. Maybe I'm actually pretty good, and start to look for evidence of how that's true. Are you paying your mortgage on time every single month? If you have a car note, are you paying that on time? Are you paying your utilities on time? Are you making money? Are you investing in your 401k? Do you have some money saved? Do you not max out your credit cards? Like, if you can look at all these little things and say, actually, this is evidence that I'm really not bad with money, then that can start to really help you to feel a little bit more empowered and like there is hope for your situation, and you can start to make a change. Next, we're going to talk about point number 2. The second shift you need to make is that your past does not determine your future. So I know a lot of people likes to say, history repeats itself. If it happened in the past, it's likely to happen again. But that is true only if you decide it's true, right? You can make a decision to say, honestly, I don't like what I created in the past, and I'm not going to create it again. I'm going to create a different future for myself, right? History only repeats itself when we just live unconsciously and we are not intentional about making a change. Here's the thing. I want you to realize this. Your past actions and your past ways of thinking is what created the financial results you have now. So whatever you have now, the amount of savings you have, the amount you have saved in your 401k, the amount of debt you have, your net worth, whatever you want to look at, all of that was created with your past actions and your past thinking, right? And so if you continue to think and act how you did in the past, you're going to continue to create the same results over and over again. But if you can say, okay, I know that my past thinking and actions created where I am now, and I don't necessarily want to stay here. So I know that I need to start thinking and behaving differently in order to get a different result. Okay, so that is how you prevent history from repeating itself, by just looking at the facts. Like, this is where I am. I got here by doing these things, by thinking these things. And if I want to create a different reality for myself, then I got to think differently and I've got to act differently. And I'm up for that. So I want you to know that your future is unwritten. It's unwritten. You get to decide what it's going to be like. And if you do not intentionally and consciously decide that it's going to be different, then it probably will be the same. But if you take back your power and just say, no, I want something different for myself. I know I need to think differently. I know I need to act differently. And with that, I know that I can create a different result because my past doesn't have to determine my future. Okay, awesome. That leads us directly into money mindset shift number 3 that you should make if you want to build wealth. And here we go. So I want you to know that your dreams and your desires are like a map, and so you should follow them. So a lot of us are living our lives on rinse and repeat, right? Because we no longer dream anymore. When we were younger, like if you think about when we were like toddlers and in grade school, in high school, in college, we were always dreaming about what was next. We were always striving for the next thing, right? And then when we became adults and we maybe got a couple promotions, maybe had our children, maybe got married, we just stopped dreaming and we started just living life on rinse and repeat, right? And so I want to invite you to actually start to dream again, so that you can allow those desires to start bubbling up to the surface and then taking some action steps to actually follow them. Because I believe that God is actually friendly towards your desires. As long as they are good, righteous desires, I think God is friendly towards them, right? And I think our desires are just nudges pushing us in the right direction, pushing us in another direction that we want to go. Right? So if you feel the desire or the nudge to build wealth, to make more money, to start a business, to get promoted, then follow those. Allow yourself to follow those. Don't suppress them. And that is going to be possible if you just start letting yourself dream again, right? So for our purposes, if you're listening to this podcast, you very well probably want to build wealth. You want to get your savings. You want to get your 6 months emergency fund. You want to pay off some debt. You want to make more money. You want to get your investments growing, and you just want to create a really wealthy life, right? So if that is your desire, then let's follow it, right? Because your desires are available to you. And I want you to know that you do not need to know how it's going to happen. So many of my clients, when they first come to me, they're like, Jermaine, I don't know where to start. I don't even know where to start, right? And so the first thing is just to start dreaming. And then when you get that nudge to do something, actually take the first step, right? Because you do not need to know the entire path, right? You just need to know, what's my first step? And then make that first step. And then from there, make another step and then another step. And eventually you'll get there. So many of you know that my number one goal when I started this journey was to pay off $200,000 worth of debt. And when I first thought about that, it was so daunting. It was just I don't know how in the world I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get from point A to point Z, but I know I want to get there. So what is the first thing I could do? And it was read a book. Okay, then what? And then it was just I just kept taking step after step after step, and eventually I got there. And so I want to offer that to you. I know sometimes though, it can be hard to take that first step because it's scary. You're like, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? But I want you to let all of that down, let all of that go, and just decide that I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get the support and the help I need. The fact that you're listening to this podcast shows me that you are willing to get the support and the help you need, right? So just take that next step and then the next one, and eventually the way will be unfolded and you will get there, as long as you don't quit when things get hard. Because they're going to get hard, right? Things are going to happen. Challenges are going to happen. Obstacles are going to occur. You're going to make mistakes, and all of that is fine, because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we get stronger. And the only people who don't get what they want are the people who quit when obstacles come and when challenges occur. You just have to keep going, right? But it all starts with being able to allow yourself to dream and then to start taking actions towards those desires that you have, right? And so I just want to offer that the next step for you could be subscribing to this podcast and committing to listening to it every single week, right? Or it could be to join my signature program, the Wealthy Women's Academy. It's how I coach my clients in a group setting. And my clients go from feeling out of control with their money to really managing it and growing it and feeling empowered and just creating the life that they always dreamed of. And they do that with my support and my help, right? That could be your next step. Whatever that nudge is for you, I just want you to listen to it and know that whatever you desire, whatever you want is possible. Okay, so let's recap what these 3 money mindset shifts are that I think you should make. And that is 1, understand that you're not bad with money. Number 2, be convinced that your past does not determine your future. And then understand that your dreams and your desires are like a map and you should follow them. All right, so that is what I have for you today. I think this episode will set the mode or the mood for the rest of the podcast, because you have to be thinking differently and acting differently in order to get a different result. And I just want you all to understand that whatever you desire, whatever you want, as long as it's good, as long as it's righteous, as long as it's not going to steal something from another human being or hurt another human being, if it's your desire, then guess what? More than likely, not only will it make your life better, but it'll probably make the lives of others better that are around you. So I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Women's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to JermaineFoley.com. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com. See you there.